This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by HostGator. Coming up on Destructoid, Rage continues to disappoint, this time on the PC. Television is coming to your Xbox this fall, and Conrad Zimmerman is in the house to talk about Dark Souls. All that and more heading your way on Destructoid. Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Max Scoville.
This is Fonzie.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's a cool leather jacket you got there.
It's actually very warm. It's cold out today, so I wore it.
Yeah, that's why you wore it?
Anyway. Last episode, I was our big Rage Spectacular, and you guys seemed to more or less agree with what we had to say, but I have one major retraction to make, sort of. When Tara complained about graphics issues while playing on 360, I said it was probably better on PC since it looked fine during my PC demo. Apparently, this is very much not the case. Jim Sterling recently played a bit on his super-powered gaming rig, and apparently the PC version of the game is just screwed up. There are a few control issues, but mostly the game is riddled with weird graphical issues, and this is after installing the latest video drivers like id recommended. Now, considering the visuals are probably the best thing Rage had going for it, you might want to wait a bit on the PC version until these problems get patched, or at least, until the game doesn't cost $60. So.
Yeah, I didn't feel so bad slamming the game on our episode after I read all the reviews from people like Ben Kuchera.
Ben Kuchera likes slamming games.
Yeah, you know what? It didn't get a lot of good reviews all around, though. I was actually surprised that Jim Sterling rated it as high as he did.
I honestly was, too.
Yeah. Anyway, Microsoft made a pretty big announcement this morning when they revealed that they're going to be bringing all sorts of new video content to Xbox Live this holiday, including almost 40 television providers like Comcast, Verizon Fios, HBO, Vivo, etc., as well as some web video content like YouTube and Dailymotion. You guys know what that means, right? Yeah, you do. It means that you're going to be able to watch Max and me on Xbox Live.
Oh, yeah.
You're also going to be able to tweet about watching us on Xbox Live because Twitter and Facebook are going to be thrown in the mix as well. These changes will be incorporated into the big dashboard makeover that's supposed to come this fall, and thus we'll also be taking advantage of both the Kinect navigation and the new Bing search functionality that Microsoft plans on offering with those. The television providers will be available to over 20 countries when the new dashboard launches, but certain networks will be limited to certain countries. If you want to see a full list of all the providers and which country they'll be debuting in, you can check out Destructoid.com. I was a little disappointed to see that the BBC will only be available on Xbox Live in the UK because I like to leave it on in the background and then invite friends over so they think I'm cultured.
Yeah, those wine and cheese parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's rad. We're gonna be on Xbox
I know,
Live.
it's so cool.
You hear that, Jessica Chobot? We coming for you, girl. Strategize that.
Oh, poor
anyway,
Jessica Chobot.
But yeah, let's take a moment and
let's thank our sponsor, and then we'll get back with some Dark Souls stuff. If you've always wanted to start your own website but never knew where to begin, look no further than HostGator. They can get your blog or website up and running in minutes with plans starting at only $3.96 a month. You'll get 24/7 support and access to all sorts of website building tools with over 4,000 templates to choose from. And if you've already got a website, they'll migrate your current one for free. On top of that, HostGator servers are 130% powered by wind energy, and they offer unlimited disk space and bandwidth, a 45-day money-back guarantee, and a $100 Google AdWords credit to market your site. And for you super intelligent Revision 3 viewers, HostGator is currently offering 25% off your order or your first month free. All you have to do is go to HostGator.com and enter the code Destructoid at checkout.
So last episode, we asked you guys to vote on your most anticipated game being released this week, and your resounding first choice was Dark Souls. So we've got Destructoid news editor and resident mustache champion Conrad Zimmerman, who's just finished reviewing it, and he's kind enough to join us today.
Welcome,
Hello.
Conrad.
Hey, Conrad.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. Now, before we get down to brass tacks, you didn't finish the game?
I didn't. I spent about 90 hours playing through one run. I had a prior run that went about 15 hours, just trying to cram in as much of the game as possible. But I mean, it's absolutely huge, and its big open world design often sort of lends itself to easily getting yourself distracted, confused, lost, particularly if you make the mistake of selecting an item that lets you unlock a lot of the doors early.
Is that what you did?
And maybe what happened. If I can give a piece of advice to anybody starting the game for the first time, it's to not select the master key. It will open up tons of shortcuts and give you access to a large part of the world early, and then you'll never be able to find your way back on track.
Wow.
Well,
so 90 hours, that's pretty
not have
intense.
finished it, but that's a lot, you poor man.
Yes.
Yeah, it was literally, I mean, I got the game on a Thursday. I played it for 3 days almost solid, went on a trip to Vegas for work stuff, and then came back, and it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I literally got up, played Dark Souls, and went to sleep.
Is it a lot of fun, or were you just doing
It's
that
a
to
fun
try to
game.
get as far
Don't
as
get
you
the wrong
can?
idea. It's challenging as hell. You're going to be faced at every turn with some really great environment design and intelligent enemy placement. And it's forgiving in certain ways in that it allows a lot of checkpoint opportunities. It rolls back on itself so that you're not replaying the same places over and over and over again if you're reaching a modicum of success. But the battles are hard enough that approach directly, it's just going to kill you every time.
Okay, so overall, how does it stack up to Demon's Souls?
Okay, I won't say that they're the same game, because there's a lot of dramatic improvements and changes between Demon's Souls and Dark Souls. Dark Souls open world design is a huge difference. It's a lot bigger game, but at the same time, there's a lot of little niggling issues that I had with Demon's Souls in terms of technical faults and shortcomings that I really felt should have been addressed, at least more significantly than this game was. It's easier than Demon's Souls was in some ways, and a lot harder in some other ways. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great game if you're willing to put up with it.
Okay, so we took some viewer questions on Twitter and Facebook. We're going to fire some of those off because, frankly, we're both scared of this game.
Let's do it.
Abdullah Fidel asks, does the checkpoint system make Dark Souls more accessible than Demon's Souls? Is it, in general, a more epic game than Demon's Souls?
I think it definitely feels a little more epic. The lack of a level design checkpoint system means that you're always sort of wondering about figuring out what's next. But the checkpoints, they make it harder and easier in that you can get to one, you can reach it, and you can get some rest and respite and recharge your healing item. But then at the same time, it's just going to respawn all of the lesser enemies in the environment. So you're going to have to fight through all of them again. And for the most part, except in a few places, it's not really practical for farming experience either, because the experience values from common enemies are just so low.
Well, okay. So Jake Kramer asked, is Dark Souls as incredibly dark as Demon's Souls, or is there more variety to the levels?
There's a little more variety. There are a couple of areas that are actually really bright and sunny. The Firelink Shrine right from the beginning of the game, while ruined and destroyed, is an exterior. It is, so, there's light, it's not all dark tones. And then there's the city of Anor Londo, which is about halfway through the game. It looks like it's in perfect condition, and nothing's wrong with it, and the sun's shining, and it's gorgeous. So it's not all dark, but there are some even darker places to go to than in Dark Souls than there were in Demon's Souls.
Huh. Yeah, I previewed it, and then one of the things that I've compared to what I'd seen in Demon's Souls, there was like parts where it's like sun-dappled trees and stuff, which is sort of not really as dark as I expected.
Yeah, there's forest environments. There's a lot of temple running around, that sort of thing. There's an entire city of the undead that just resides there and feels kind of empty and yet filled with all these horrible things to kill you. The environment really is the strongest part of Dark Souls by far. They spent a lot of time making a world that you can go pretty much anywhere you can see, and tucked it full of all sorts of secrets and fun stuff.
Very cool. I got a question. What's up with that giant bird?
There's a giant bird?
No, in the game, there's like a giant bird. They showed it in the trailer.
Actually, I saw the giant bird, and he wouldn't talk to me, and I was afraid to kill him. So he's still sitting there in my game.
So it's like, I'm guessing you have to fight it, but so far you haven't fought it, or?
Well, there's a lot of NPC characters that are both human or undead, such as it is, and creatures that you can communicate with and build covenants with, and they'll teach you things. That bird, I don't know.
It is big though. It's not just close up. It's a big bird.
He's a big ass bird.
I was just curious. It looked kind of cool because it was just a regular bird. It's just really big.
Yeah.
Anyway, another question we got. Derek Owen asked, exactly how many times did you die and how many controllers were thrown at the wall in frustration? And in a similar note, John Stokes asked, what is your first death in Dark Souls?
Well, the first death I had in Dark Souls was approaching the Asylum Demon in the tutorial area. Like all boss fights in Dark Souls, and in many ways Demon's Souls as well, that very first moment when you walk into a boss encounter, you have no idea what the environment is, you don't have any clue what the offensive capabilities of the thing would be, and then it's this huge, terrible monster, and you're just like, oh shit, what do I do now? So that's where I died for the first time, at that first sort of boss encounter where I saw it, I said, oh shit, what do? I tried to run and he killed me. In terms of total number of deaths, I don't have an actual way of quantifying it. I expect that it is in excess of 150, if not 200.
I know,
and it's frequent.
I was gonna ask, because I know the difficulty of the game can kind of be a little off-putting to beginners. Would you say that people who haven't played Demon's Souls should try to get into this one, even if they're not maybe so great at video games?
Well, if you're not interested in playing Demon's Souls, or if the difficulty of Demon's Souls puts you off, Dark Souls isn't going to do you any favors there either. I mean, they are really, in a lot of ways, identical games. And the combat mechanics and so forth, almost all entirely translated over. So you're still going to struggle, you're still going to have a hard time, but maybe it was the experience of having played Demon's Souls in the past that sort of prepared me a little bit. The introductory areas didn't feel as challenging to me as they did in Demon's Souls, but that could just be a matter of perspective.
Okay, well, Christopher Johnson asked, do you have to be a special kind of person to play through the game, like a masochist?
I think you have to have a certain measure of patience that maybe a lot of people don't have. You have to be willing to accept that failure is going to be part of the game and find successes in your failures. Even the fact that you don't lose equipment, you only lose souls and humanity when you die and leave those at the place of your death, means that you're still going to get some level of progress no matter what you do, as long as you've gone somewhere you haven't been before. But at the same time, yeah, it's not going to be for everyone. I can't recommend it for everyone. If you want something that you can dedicate your life to for a long period of time and feel a sense of accomplishment when it's done, Dark Souls would definitely do that.
I have a question. Is there a casual mode?
No.
At all?
Sorry,
No.
Max.
Okay.
With that bitchin' leather jacket, though, you should be ready for anything, right?
I only look tough. I'm
You are
not tough at all.
hardcore.
All right, well, last question here. A few different people asked, how different is Dark Souls from Demon's Souls? Would you call it a sequel, a new version, or an expansion pack? We've kind of already touched on that for a little bit, but...
It's more of a new version. It's a reiteration of a lot of common themes that, you're going to see a lot of similar combat mechanics. Even the environments, in a lot of ways, will often look the same or even mirror those in Demon's Souls. They're just a new layout, better design, more interesting enemy placement.
Cool. Well, one final question. I know she said it was the last one, but this is really the resounding question everyone had. Did your character in the game also have a mustache?
No.
Okay. Well, Conrad, you're a brave man for powering through 90 hours of Dark Souls, and I think you've earned yourself a treat. So you may help yourself to one of the candies in the bowl on my desk. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Conrad, for joining us. You guys at home can catch Conrad's full written Dark Souls review over on DestructoID.com, and you can catch Conrad's show Saturday Morning Hangover on Destructoid's Twitch TV channel. That's every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/Destructoid. They have a lot of fun on there.
They do.
Not unlike the way we do on this show.
Well, that's the thing we do is we also have Podtoid. That's our weekly podcast we do with Jim Sterling and Jonathan Holmes. You can go check that out. It's on iTunes. It's on Destructoid.com. You can also get an app on the Android store that's $2. Help support the podcast. And because we have such low self-esteem, you should really go like us on Facebook at facebook.com/DTOID Show and follow us on Twitter at DTOID Show. If you're creepy, you can follow Tara. She's at Tara Longest. And if you're really just a glutton for punishment, I'm at Max Scoville.
And stay tuned to youtube.com/DTOID for our Friday live show, which is going to be happening at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be giving away some stuff and talking about some news, and some part of our set may crumble in the process. It'll be fun, so watch that.
See you guys then.
We'll see you then.